the good life, full of fun.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Got a big day today. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you like French toast? Do you like creme brulee? Do you like things deep fried? Well, if you do, then today is a day that you can get a heart attack and a cholesterol clot one day. No, I'm just kidding. But this is an absolutely phenomenal, delicious breakfast. And it's certainly something you wouldn't want to have every day, but I'll tell you, if you want to make something real special, something that steps out of the box with that Italian flair, this is definitely the breakfast for you. So today what we're going to make is creme brulee French toast deep fried. It's a lot of fun, very easy, relatively quick. So I'm going to show you right how to get started, all right? So that being said, let me share with you, we've got a ciabatta bread, right? So what have we got? About 6 slices of bread in there. And you'll notice you want to set it out for a good day, you know, certainly a couple hours. And you want to get a good inch, maybe 1.25 inches or so thickness, okay? And then you're going to place them in a pan because we're going to actually pour our creme brulee mixture right over the top, all right? That's number one. Number two, you're going to want 2 cups of heavy cream. Heavy cream is the only way to go. What you're basically going to do in this dish is you're going to make a creme brulee. So you're going to make a creme brulee. Creme brulee is made with essentially a custard of egg yolks, cream, sugar, and vanilla. So we're going to make a creme brulee mixture, and then we're going to actually pour it right over the bread, okay? So we've got 2 cups of heavy cream, whipping cream. I've got 10 egg yolks, and we've got 1/2 cup of sugar. The general rule is you're going to want a teaspoon, maybe like not a tall heaping teaspoon, but a teaspoon of sugar per every yolk is kind of the general rule when you sweeten it, all right? We've got about 1/4 teaspoon or so of nutmeg. Oh, nutmeg it's so Italy. I love that. And then we've got 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to cream the eggs, make the custard with the sugar, then we're going to mix it in the cream, and then we're going to put it over the bread. We're going to let it set for a little while, and then when that's done, we're going to deep fry it, okay? What I've got going on in the background here is I've got the oil. It's already hot, and it's going to be turning right about 350 degrees, okay? Now, to dress it, you can dress it any way you want. You can use different types of jams. You can use all different types of toppings. Some people just like sugar. What we're going to do here is we're going to use maple syrup. That's certainly what I like. We're up in New York. Nobody makes maple syrup better than a New York maple. We've got some strawberries for dressing. We've got some powdered sugar, and we've got some olive oil. And the olive oil is not something that you would typically put in our creme brulee, but it's my olive oil. It's Vito and Joe's olive oil. So that's my shameless plug. You guys can get that right on our website at cookingitalianwithjoe.com. And you can get it right off of our Facebook page. So, hey guys, all right, here we are. We've got a blender, right? So what we got is our mixer blender. We're going to put our 8 egg yolks in. And what's really important with our yolks is you want to get as much of that yolk in as you can. So don't waste the yolk, if you will, okay? So I've got our 10 egg yolks. And now what we're going to do, this is called creaming the yolk. So we're going to put this right down in there, and then we're going to turn it on. And essentially, I don't want to talk while this is going, but it's going to take about 3 to 5 minutes, and you're going to cream the yolk. You're going to beat it right till it's creamy and frothy, and you'll see what I mean. So let me turn this on, and then once it starts to get right where it needs to, I'll tune back with you guys, all right? Okay guys, this has been going about 5 minutes, so I just want to show you what this looks like. So this is when you cream the egg. You see how it gets kind of frothy and, okay, kind of frothy and foamy and a little bit more of a golden color, okay, a lighter color. So that's the look we're looking for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the sugar, and let me put that down. I don't want to dump it all in at once. Okay, so I'm going to put the sugar in, and just nice and slow. And now this is more sugar than you would use typically just if you were making a custard, but remember, we're mixing this with 2 cups of cream, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our vanilla in. Oh, I'm telling you what. And then we're going to put our nutmeg in. And again, a little bit more nutmeg, because a little bit of nutmeg goes a long way. A little bit more nutmeg than you typically use in this mixture, but again, it's going to be mixed in with our cup, 2 cups of cream. All right, so let me go crank this, and I'm going to let this mix here just for like a minute to incorporate everything. Make sure the sugar dissolves. Maybe a couple of minutes. I'll tune right back with you guys. See how nice and creamy that is? Look at that. See how nice and foamy that is? Oh, that's good stuff. I'm telling you what, man, that's like liquid candy. Now there's a dessert I've talked about in some other videos before, and it's called aviborto, which is it was a topping that my father would make for coffee. Typically you'd make a latte, which was common in northern Italy. You take a latte and you take eggs and sugar and a vanilla, many times a liqueur, and you would actually, I'm gonna go for it here, and you'd make this custard, and you would put it over the top of your coffee. Oh my God, I gotta tell you, just that. I could take this bowl in the corner. That is good stuff. I don't know what it is, but that's good. So that's our mixture, right? It's gooey, it's sticky, but you see how nice and foamy that is? Now a lot of times I'll see other people make a creme brulee French toast, but if you don't cream the eggs, if you just take the eggs and you mix them in cream and mix it together, you're not getting that change in the consistency of the egg. This changes the flavor of the egg. It changes every aspect of the egg, okay? So now I'm gonna take 2 cups of cream, and real simple, I'm gonna put it in. Now I wanna try to fold it in, and when you say fold it, and you can use a whisk when you do it, but when you say fold it, I'll show you here with my camera person, right? So you wanna fold it in. You don't wanna, you're not trying to beat down the air that you've incorporated within the yolk, okay? So while I was mixing it, I used the spatula. While I'm doing this, I'm gonna mix it in. And this just has all the, to me, all the flavors of Italy, because I grew up with the, you know, eggs is such an important part of my upbringing as far as when we cooked, especially my grandmother. She had this little cute stand where she would make the hard-boiled egg, I mean soft-boiled, and she'd set the egg and then she'd cut the top of it off, and she'd have that with a little espresso in the morning. So cute. What a wonderful lady she was. She was about 4 feet 10 inches tall, so she was a doll. All right, so that's our creme brulee. See, that is a creme brulee mixture. And you're gonna see you still have that air. See how you still have that air incorporated? You see that? And you're gonna basically just fold it until you don't see any white anymore. And you got little flecks of nutmeg in there. You've got the vanilla, you've got the sugar. And that is just absolutely delicious. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this mixture, right? And we're gonna put it over the top of the bread. So you've got the bread in here, and there's no simple way to do this, okay? So I'm just gonna set this aside. And essentially I'm gonna drizzle it over the top. You wanna make sure you get it over the top of the bread, and then it's gonna bathe in the bottom. And then what I do, and it's not necessarily gonna absorb all of this, so you have a little extra for some other bread. So this is 1 loaf of our ciabatta. So we're gonna actually make more than this, okay? So I'm gonna save the rest of that. But for demonstration purposes here, now typically you're gonna let this set for anywhere from half of an hour, I'd say minimally, up to several hours. You can even refrigerate this and put it in the refrigerator and let it stay overnight after you wrap it, okay? But essentially what you're looking to do is you want the bread to absorb all that beautiful flavored mixture, right? And then what you're gonna do is after you let this set, and we're gonna let this set for a while, I'll tune back with you guys, and we'll deep fry it, plate it, put some maple syrup, strawberry on it, hit it with a little powdered sugar. Oh my God, it's gonna be absolutely delicious. Great trip to breakfast in Italy. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Hey guys, all right, so here we go. This thing's been setting, say, for about an hour. Now, just a couple of tips. If you do choose to put it in the refrigerator for any period of time, bring it out and let it set for an hour or two, because you want to bring it back down to room temperature. You don't want to have it cold, because just like when you cook meat, ideally you want it room temperature. If the inside's really cold or refrigerated, the outside's going to cook really quick, and the inside won't give it the right temperature, and it won't cook the egg like you want it to, okay? Number one. Number two, remember, we're working with hot oil, so we want 350 degrees, which is what I've got, okay? And number two, you'll notice I always like my cast iron pan. I also like the white inside, porcelain inside, so I can get the contrast, and when something's starting to cook, gives you a little splash resistance, okay? And then remember, when we do this, you know, this thing drips and it could splash. So I always like to have two instruments. You don't want to put it over the fork. If it splashes, it's going to come back and hurt you, okay? And this is going to stay in there for a minute or so, okay? And then you're going to flip it. Pop that in. Oh, We should be able to get 3 of these puppies in there. I made a little bit of a mess. And what we're going for here is a nice, crisp outside. Remember, on a creme brulee, when you get creme brulee, the outside of the creme brulee is got, or the top, if you will, is got the sugar that's caramelized. And that's what frying allows you to do. Deep frying, it's going to take all that sugar that's inside of this, and it's going to give you that caramelization on the outside, right? So when you eat it, it gives you all that texture. You're going to have that nice, warm, gooey, eggy, creamy inside, and then the outside is going to have that nice, crisp texture on the outside. Oh my God. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So our temp is still pretty good. We dropped just a bit. Temperature is so important because if the oil isn't hot enough, the 350 is your sweet spot. If the oil isn't hot enough, you're going to absorb too much of the oil in your food because you actually absorb very little of the oil. If it's too hot, the outside will cook too fast. So you start getting up to 400 degrees or so, and then it's going to cook too fast. So like I said, you got about 2 to 3 minutes per side. They're just starting to brown here. Hey guys, come on in here. Look at this. Now I've been flipping them periodically. Now you're going to see there's no goo coming up, but see how you got that nice crispy, crunchy on the outside? So you can't get that in a pan when you pan fry it, and you can't, or grill it, and you can't get that outside nice and crispy too, because remember, all that creme brulee mixture is absorbed into the crust, it's in with the bread. Oh, it's so delicious. So we're almost done. I want to just give it another moment. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. We're done, right? I'm going to pull that out. Look at that. Oh boy, that's nice. Just set that right up like that. And I'll set it up on its side if I can get it situated right. Okay? And that's going to give me a chance to get that oil. I cannot stress enough, only because I've been in the kitchen for years, just be really careful of that oil because we're 350 degrees or more right now. So you can smell it. You can smell the flavor. You can smell the egg, and oh my God, it's got that, you know, that classic French toast with the egg flavor. Oh, look at that. Is that just absolutely fantastic? So normally you'd serve maybe one of these. I'm going to show you how to cut it. I'm a glutton, so I'm going to have 4. No, I'm just kidding. So why don't I set up here and I'll show you guys how to plate this, and we'll have some fun. All right, I'll tune right back with you guys. All right, guys, here we go. So I'm going to pull this off. Oh, that is good. I'm telling you. So I like to plate it just with a little extra. This is hot, so all right. So I'm just going to come across. Just do a nice little angle. And you can see here, see the steam coming off? But look at that. See, you've got that nice change in texture. It absorbed all that custard on the inside. So you're gonna kind of set it like this. Isn't that beautiful? We're gonna hit it with a little powdered sugar. All right. Strawberry. And a little puddle of maple syrup right off to the side. Okay. All right, guys, absolutely always one of my favorite parts of our videos. It's taste time. So I've got a nice puddle of maple syrup, okay, and I'm just gonna, you got that crumble. What I love about doing it this way is, again, you get that texture. The outside is nice and crispy, just like you would on a creme brulee being served up, right? The inside's gonna be nice and eggy. Oh, I gotta get that piece. I don't wanna leave that piece out. And I love maple syrup. So here we go. You guys ready? Can you smell that through the smell-o-vision? Oh my God. I'll tell you, the outside is totally encompassed within a caramelization and a crunch. Like I said, you can't get that any other way other than frying it, because you would heat up the top of a creme brulee. So it gives you that caramelized flavor of the sugar. I'm gonna do one more. Holy mackerel. And you know, you got just a hint of nutmeg, the vanilla, the sugar, the egg. Oh my God. By far the best. My grandmother would be so proud of me right now, I gotta tell you. Oh my God. That is That is by far the best French toast I've ever had. If I had a latte right now, with a little Alveborto on the top, molto deleccio. Oh, guys, I think you're really gonna enjoy this recipe. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for so many great comments on our videos. Hopefully you enjoyed making this recipe, certainly setting some traditions, and thanks for allowing me in your kitchen to share my heritage and my traditions with you. Have a great week. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bon appetit.
the ideal.